Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be across the diaspora, America, the Caribbean, Africa, Europe, or the UK. My name is Lance Prince, and I'm the host of Expatriate Memories, where you, your friends, and family can, for the foreseeable future, come and share stories about immigration experiences. Ever since June 22, 1945, when the Agorasi of 1700 plus pioneering migrant traveled on HMT Empire Windrush from Jamaica and other Caribbean colonies arrived on English shores. England shores, our diaspora has been a melting pot of diverse experiences, culture, and contacts. What we call the Windrush generation extends from that initial contact with the host community at the Tilbury Docks to the passing of the British Nationality Act of 1971. Every individual story has a unique quality which contributes to the distinctive character of our diaspora. It will be beneficial, therefore, if our great-grandparents, parents, children, and grandchildren of the Windrush generation would come together and take this opportunity to share experiences. An appreciation of the immigrant journey would be enriched and foster greater awareness of the value of their contribution to the host community as well as countries beyond. We know so far that Expatriate Memories, a series of conversation, has already attracted the support of a majority of thousands upon thousands, including in the diaspora today. But true success depends on whether we are all committed to making that happen. As far as our model is concerned, it is definitely participative and inclusive. Indeed, you can commit to the process right now by letting us know at expatriatememories@gmail.com that you are willing to join in the conversation about memories from your own immigration journey or migration of someone close may have affected you. Thank you so much for your continuing support, and should you have any suggestion as far as the reach or content, please contact us at expatriatememories@gmail.com. Thanks for joining the conversation. If after listening to these discussions you would like to participate, please remember that our motto is, the more memories the better. We invite you, therefore, to let us know you're interested in sharing your own memories by simply reaching out to us by email at expatriatememories@gmail.com. Thank you. Welcome, friends, wherever you are, to Expatriate Memories. I'm your host, Lance Prince, and in this series of conversation, our Caribbean family will share stories of immigration to countries that seem to offer them an opportunity for prosperity and productive life. The significant wave of migration from the Caribbean known as the Windrush generation is so named because Her Majesty's troopship, Empire Windrush, carried 1,027 Jamaicans and other Caribbean immigrants to England 75 years ago, arriving at Tilbury Dock on the 22nd of June, 1948. 15 years later, Prime Minister Clement Attlee wrote to members of Parliament saying, and I quote, "I note what you say, but I think it would be a great mistake to take this immigration to the UK too seriously. Too much publicity has been attached to the present Agorasi of Jamaicans. The majority of them are honest workers who can make a genuine contribution to our labor difficulties." End of quote. Today is Monday, May 29th, 2023, and my co-host is my daughter, Arantxa, who is at the University of Colorado Law School, having graduated from New College, Sarasota, where her academic curiosity sparked an interest in learning more about the experience of Jamaican families who were part of the Windrush generation. The way in which they dealt with the family disruption and separation, and the challenges of adapting to a society with unfamiliar customs. Her final thesis at New College was Off to the Mother Country, Community Cultural Wealth, and the Construction of Empowered Motherhood by Windrush Jamaican Transnational Mother. Welcome all to an interesting conversation, and my special thanks to our guest for making himself available, and to my co-host who will formally welcome Mr. Noel Brown and set the stage for this session of Expatriate Memories. I now invite Arancha, my co-host, to explain her fascination with the pattern and permutations of immigration. She will introduce Noel, who, on the basis of his treasured memories, I am pleased to welcome to today's conversation. Go ahead, Arancha.
Thank you so much to my co-host for that gracious introduction. My name is Arancha, or as many of you know me as Renche. I've always had a love for history, and I got to further explore this during my time at New College of Florida. This fascination helped me produce my thesis, and during my research, I was really inspired by the way that these mothers found community in this completely new territory and used it to empower their families and pass down these traditions. With these conversations, we keep legacies alive, and we're sure that this history will always be remembered. Our guest today is Noel Brown, and to all who shall listen to our conversation, I extend a hearty welcome. So, Noel, if at this time you could introduce yourself to the listeners, that'd be absolutely great.
Um, hi, hi, Ranchi. My name's Noel Brown, and I'm first generation. My dad came over in 1960, and it's quite a mixed bag because my mother came from Barbados and my dad came from Jamaica. So my grandmother on my mother's side, she came 58, I believe. Her and her husband, Clement and Dorothy Pierce. My dad he came at 18 and 60, sorry, and he came at 18. So he came for work, to be fair, and he sold a little calf and he came with his one grip, as I say, and made his way to London, Paddington, and then he found a struggle finding work, so then he ended up in Birmingham, and his story continues after that. I'll get into that as we continue talking.
No, absolutely. I know, kind of just to start us off, did your parents meet in the UK?
They did, yeah.
Okay.
Birmingham.
So you were born in England or in
I was born in
Birmingham?
Birmingham,
Okay.
yeah.
So I guess kind of just to start us off with like a bit of like your early childhood like background. What was school like growing up in Birmingham?
Uh, it wasn't that multicultural, to be fair. It was predominantly black and white, and a sprinkling of Asian community, and that was it. Um, it was quite racist, to be fair. Um, Blacks stuck together. At that time, we had more of a community then, and the whites just let us know that we wasn't. 'Cause I was born 1970, so it was just when things were starting to change. Um, coming from a lot of the black community stuck together and stayed in the same vicinity and partied together, worked together, ate together, and built little structures, financial structures like partner and stuff like that, which gave them the freedom to get their deposit to buy a house. Am I making sense? Have you? I don't know if you have a partner out there in America.
Partner?
Yeah, it's like where they put their money
Yeah,
together.
man, yeah.
And
I'm familiar with it. Ranch, you know what Noel talking about?
Yeah, I actually, this was brought up during like my thesis research. And I think I talk a bit about it with kind of like community cultural wealth
Yeah.
and just able to like,
little pockets of people are still doing it now, but
yeah,
we as a community of people, we've stopped doing it. We
yeah.
more put our money into banks and stuff, but It was our building block for us to get our deposits and buy houses and stuff.
No, one of the ways like how it was explained to me was that like it was hard for like Black people at the time to have access to banks. And so like that was a way that they could like save and manage money like through the community basically. So yeah.
Very much so.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think that is a pity that we have stepped away from that, Noel, because I think that is almost like we should have expanded that and ingrained that in our communities.
I'm very disappointed in us in that respect because we're the only set of people that don't really spend amongst ourselves the way that other community does. When you look at the Jews, the Asians, the Chinese, everyone else spends quite a few times before it comes out to their community.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll get our money and we'll go straight to JD and Foot Locker.
Yeah, yeah. Got to spend the money outside of the community. Yeah, yeah.
Which we don't spend our money enough amongst ourselves.
So yeah, go ahead,
Because
Ryan.
we've got powerful
Yeah,
and we're quite big spenders
yeah,
when we've got
yeah.
we made everybody else millionaires.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's my opinion anyway. I just think considering we spent so much on our hair, and we made everyone else billionaires.
Noel, my get us in trouble as male, because you think
I'm being controversial now.
we're ranting sound like you had a question for Noel.
Yeah, kind of just like do you think the community started like in the school or like where do you think like community building begins and where do you think like it kind of like fades
um,
years?
I think I think a few areas. I think we haven't got school. We don't have many black schools. We don't have community centres that really are funded, self-funded. Um, we don't have a newspaper. We don't have a radio station or many. Not in this country anyway. Radio station, some way of us communicating amongst ourselves to build, educate ourselves.
So based on what you're
I
saying there,
think
yeah, go ahead, Noel. I'm just saying, based on what you're saying, what we're doing now, communicating amongst ourselves is a good thing. What a start in here.
yeah, we need to because we don't have any for. I mean, if we had a politician who was going to represent us as a people, how would he communicate to us?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't got a TV station, we haven't got a radio station, we haven't got a newspaper, we haven't got many magazines,
Yeah,
and not pushing music and hip hop and
yeah, yeah,
clothes.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So if we had a platform, then we could all congregate
Yeah,
and just be on the same platform, be in the same wavelength.
yeah, yeah. Which is in a
I
sense,
think YouTube is powerful now for that.
yeah, man. Which is what I'm trying to do here now. Just to have the conversation and the dialogue and just build a community. Yeah, that's what you're saying, Noel. So, Noel, you said
Because
your mother was from Barbados and your father from Jamaica.
yeah,
Okay.
unusual mix.
No. So tell us how that was like growing up in the UK with your mother from Barbados. And where in Barbados was she from? And where in Jamaica was your father from?
St. Peter and St. Thomas. And my dad's from St. Catherine's,
Oh, so,
which is by Linstead way, that way.
yeah, man, I'm familiar with that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like cat and dog.
Tell us about that.
Because
If you can, Noel. Tell us what you mean by that.
well, most people don't know that Bajans are very fiery. Probably more fiery than Jamaicans.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're quite hot-headed.
Yeah.
So my dad is definitely a leader. So two bulls can't run in the same herd, can they?
You know. Yeah.
And then I came, love child.
Yeah.
My dad, funny enough, my dad was actually he joined the army. He was in the army before I was born, so he went through quite a lot um, in the army, being the only black person in the regiment, and it's a British army at that. So um, yeah, he got into quite a few fights with people in there because he was the only Jamaican. Could you imagine a 24-year-old Jamaican in the 60s in the army? When you didn't have to be politically correct.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't say what you want to say. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Say what you want, do what you want, and
Yeah.
it's very outnumbered. He told me some stories about the punk rockers and this before the skinheads came about, because the skinheads were more 70s. But the punk rockers were like the bikers and the mods and stuff like that.
In the 60s, yeah.
They used to walk around with pipes and chains and stuff. See, it was very much life and death. And to be fair, I think people were happier than them days.
Than
It
now.
was a lot more
Yeah.
simpler. A lot more simpler than it was just like might go out and work all week, go out on the weekend, might meet somebody, and then if she's special, you try and build a life together.
Yeah.
And that was it. You get some. If you do get some kids, you put them through school, and the aspirations weren't that high, but they seemed happier. Everybody wants to be millionaires now.
So you had brothers and sisters, Michael? Sorry, Noel, sorry.
I got two brothers and two sisters.
So older, younger, where you fall in that group?
I'm the oldest.
Oh, you're the oldest one. Okay.
There's a 20-year gap between us.
Repeat that?
There's a 20-year gap between us.
Oh, really? Between all five of you?
Yeah, so all my brothers and sisters, they're just touching their 30s now.
Okay, and you're in your 50s, yeah.
My dad was a pretty boy. I said it.
Yeah, go ahead, Ranchi.
I just kind of had a question of like, what was it like? I guess growing up in like, they're obviously both Caribbean cultures, but like the difference between like a Jamaican household versus like said Barbados.
Bajan, Ranchi. Bajan or Barbadian? Bajan.
Yeah.
Bajan. You can use either one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good question. I want to hear the difference, Noel.
Well, yeah, I found that the Bajan side of the family much more stricter. My grandmother was a matriarch, and she didn't play about with nothing. she worked round the clock. One thing I did realise about Bajans, they all can read and write. Every one of them. Their schooling system was probably ahead of Jamaica.
That is
I wouldn't say now. I wouldn't say now, but at that
No,
time,
you're right about that. Barbados was known as Little England when I was growing up, Noel.
yeah, that's what my dad used to say. He used to
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
um, I was born predominantly with my dad, and they cook different. Bajans like eat a lot more fish than anything else. Cuckoo and sauce, and I don't know if you experience sauce.
What's that, Noel?
Sauce. It's it's like pork pickled and boiled and turned with cornmeal and all of that. It's not very swampy.
That's a Bajan thing?
That's a Bajan thing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so familiar with that at all. That's a deep me that don't know. So how that
I've
work?
had it once, and that was enough for me. I definitely follow the Jamaican side of things when it comes to diet.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I used to get teased for that,
Yeah.
but yeah, I found the ladies are very much stricter. The Bajan ladies are very much stricter, um, and they're very much more generally ambitious. They're much more about careers and being independent and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaicans, it just depends on which family you're in
Yeah.
and what their standards are about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
My dad was always working. I got my first job when I was 13. Get my independence. My first job was an ice cream van.
Was that what?
An ice cream van.
Ice cream van, okay. Yeah.
And at the time, everybody was on paper rounds. So I was getting 4 times what they were getting.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting £20.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. So did your mother and father, did they ever talk about going back home?
My mother, no. My mother would jet setted to New York when I was quite young, so she was all about her career and stuff. So my aunts, but my dad wanted to go back from not long after he got here, but obviously he had me, so stayed here for I think it was 19 years before he went back. Worked, bought his house and stuff like that. And funny enough, he bought his house when nobody was buying houses.
That's in Jamaica or in the UK?
In the UK.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So people were just starting to think about buying the houses because that was the sort of in the 80s. A lot of houses the position changed and they got the initiative to start buying houses.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the only ones I knew of at the time who was buying a house at the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it sounded like your mom didn't stay long in the UK at all, Noel.
No.
Okay.
No.
So
she was gone by the mid-70s.
Oh, so basically your father who grew you up?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. So
yeah, very rare.
So, did you have a stepmom in your life? A stepmother came into your life, or it was just your father alone?
Later on, when I got to about 19,
Okay,
my
okay.
dad remarried and stuff, and that's who he's with now.
Oh,
Hence, my brothers and sisters came through that marriage.
okay, so you are the only one from a family of Jamaican and Bajan.
Yes,
And your brothers and sisters, your father's new wife was a Jamaican.
yes, she was. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. There's a completely different lifestyle they have than you then.
Well, yeah, for sure. And I found that a lot of people who came from Jamaica were brought up by their grandmothers in Jamaica and stuff like that. So I found a lot of them still are suffering from abandonment. Because like people come over on the boat or they come over in the plane to work here and they say they're going to go back and they don't and they build a life here. There's a lot of stories of kids that were left in Jamaica with their grandparents or their aunties and stuff.
Yeah.
And eventually they come over 12 years later and they never seem to settle.
Mm. Yeah. Very interesting note.
That's a definitely subject that a lot of people talk about now in the quiets of their family, in the heart of their families,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
abandonment. Because because they come back 15 or so to England or America, and they've got already family that from Jamaica. They've got family, sorry, from America or England that the kids were born here,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously this older brother or older sister comes who felt like they were left.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the dynamics are never the same.
No. So talk more about that now, Noel, because you never experienced that at all. You was born here, but it sounds like you know quite a few people who had that experience.
Oh yeah, because sometimes you hear the running joke. Even me and my dad had a joke about is that um, where some of these grandmothers are saying, when I tell you you're the oldest, you're not the oldest. You've got an older brother that's 55 in Jamaica. So sometimes with some of the grandmothers have had with son or daughter somewhere in America or somewhere in Jamaica that they haven't told their own kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is a tragedy on the migration thing. Yeah. A lot of people left families behind and they don't. They start new families and they don't talk about it till years later. And sometimes you find out by chance.
Yeah, all your life you think you're the oldest and you're not the oldest.
Mm-hmm. 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 So in a sense,
But
Noel, you were, I want to say, lucky because you was born there and your father never abandoned. I didn't want to use the word abandoned, but your father, you grew up with your father alone.
yeah,
Yeah.
in his prime,
Yeah. 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 So what?
yeah.
So what was it like? That must have been different now. What was it like growing up with a single father? Because
Um,
most of the stories I hear is about single mothers, but you're telling me a completely different dynamic. No, you grew up in the UK in the 70s and the early 80s with a single father.
it was tough because my dad was very strict, young Jamaican, and a karate man, and a soldier, a soldier.
All the disciplinarian thing, them, yeah.
And I didn't have a brother and sister to blame.
Or you didn't have a mother for the defend you.
Yeah, so I didn't have nobody, but like brothers could say, it wasn't me, it was him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't have none of that. So um, yeah, it's tough
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because you single single. I think it's how it's hard in a single child.
Mm-hmm. So the question, yeah, go ahead now. Finish your thought.
Um, wow, it's a difficult one because I haven't really thought about it too hard.
Oh, I
You
got
just get on with it, don't you?
you. Yeah, yeah.
You get on with it, and being a boy in the 70s and 80s, you don't have brothers to back you up and stuff. You have to back yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was a time. It was different from now, where you can't get into scrapes with other kids because people pull guns and knives on you.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That time, at least you could come home.
yeah, yeah.
Have a fight with somebody, and you'd have a bust lip or fat lip and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and you could come home.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's gangs and stuff, and
Yeah,
it just escalates very quickly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, so what was it like growing up in the 70s and the 80s then, when you're coming of age? Being the child of a single father, growing up in the UK in Birmingham, what was it like going to school?
I think it was the last of being free because you could. I felt a lot more safer then on the streets than now. Um, Even though I could walk anywhere I'd like, um, it was a lot of more of a safer time, simpler time. 70s, um, people just wanted to have a trade. For work, people just wanted to have a trade. Schooling was, um, it wasn't like now where everybody's watching what you're wearing
Mm-hmm.
in school.
And
School then
you wore school
was
uniform
just,
in the UK, right?
long, yeah, in the UK.
Yeah.
Long as it was clean and tidy, it was good. I've got some disaster pictures of me in the 70s.
You're in khaki pants?
I had the bell bottoms, and the blue collar with a red shirt, a red jumper, and
Oh, because,
afro with
going to school in Jamaica, everybody wore khaki pants up until a certain age. Like a uniform. Every schoolboy, the schoolgirls are really go different, but every male in Jamaica up until, I would say, 10th grade or 5th form, as you call it in Jamaica. You wore khaki,
mm,
and the girls them wear a particular uniform depending on the school they go to, but boys were identified by khaki clothes. Pants and shirt, both pants and shirt, Noel.
most of the kids that were at my junior school, I'm still in contact with now.
Nice, 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 nice.
Other than the women, I don't recognize the women now because we're all grown up and makeup and change the color of their hair and stuff.
Yeah.
Unless their names are the same, most of them. But the boys, um, we don't pass each other without having a quick chat and stuff. Secondary school is half and half. Because the secondary school, it was the same people that were in the football team, in the cricket team, in the badminton team, in the tennis team, table tennis team. So all of us are still quite tight.
Okay. Nice.
Um, so we still contact each other every week, and now we've got our own group, WhatsApp group and stuff like that.
Yeah, and this is from high
And
school. It's from high school, Noel.
yeah, high school, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
we never had any fights. We was really close.
yeah, 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 yeah. And this is and what is the name of high school you went to in Birmingham, Noel?
Ladywood,
Lady
Ladywood
Woods. Okay,
Secondary School.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I had an aunt who lived in Birmingham. My mom, younger, one of my mom's younger sisters. I had several, but I know.
Majority, there was a big move of Jamaicans that moved out of London to Birmingham and stayed there.
Okay.
There's a big, I wouldn't say community, but there's a big population of Jamaicans in Birmingham
Hmm.
or in the West Midlands, as I say.
Yeah. So, were there other islands? I mean, I know your mom was from Barbados. There were other islands in the West Midlands.
Um, Not really. No, I found that most of the other islands went a bit more north.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I believe so. Like Liverpool and Leeds and stuff.
Okay, upon the northeast and the northwest.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they're there, but um, I didn't really see too many Bajans in Birmingham.
So,
My nan was quite friendly with a few of them, but there
yo,
weren't many.
who was quite friendly? Go ahead, Ranchi, sorry.
No, you're good. I kind of want y'all to like finish this train of thought, but I did have a question kind of about like you growing in high school and those type of things. So, but please finish this up. Yeah.
Oh, no,
Sorry
yeah,
about
go
that.
ahead, Noel. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, there wasn't too many Bajans that I come across. A few were quite close to my nan, and one of them called Roberta, and then there was a few male friends that I grew up with. I've known them since, well, they've known me since I was a baby and stuff. But yeah, there wasn't many. Wasn't a big community of Asians, to be honest. I found out later that most of our family were in America or in London.
Okay, okay, okay.
And kind of like growing up and especially like during high school and even like your early 20s, I guess what parts of like
Mhm.
did you see any parts of like Caribbean culture like take place in England? And I guess like what was that like and how did that like affect community for you?
Sorry, I needed to say that question again.
No, no worries. I guess like did you see any like
Yeah,
aspects of like
I know.
culture like in England during like your high school, either through like food or like music or like those types of things? And I guess
Yeah, there was a lot of. I think this is where the breakdown of community broke down. Or I would speak for Birmingham. Um, we used to have a festival and a carnival every year that was self-funded, and somehow the council got involved in it and said they were going to fund it, and then they said they didn't have enough funding to facilitate it. And then the carnival was gone. And then not long after that, there was new laws were put forth where there was noise pollution and stuff like that. So all the parties and the blueses stopped. So how do men and women meet each other? Because the main reason why most people meet each other is through music
Yeah.
for blacks. So if there's no parties, there's no nightclubs, there's no blueses or anything like that, then you have to start getting creative. And that's all what was going on in the 80s. I think nobody was forward thinking to see what was happening.
I have a more sinister view than yours, Noel. I think it was deliberate that
Oh yeah, it was definitely.
they came in and say, "Oh, they're my sponsor, yo," and then them turn around and shut it down and shut down the gathering. Because when people gather, you start exchange ideas, and it was a way for
Yeah,
control and just make sure. So we have to be careful when people come in and say them a come for help. Yeah,
yeah, because we start to depend. All the community centres start to depend on funding,
exactly,
and once the funding goes cut, then the community centres are gone,
exactly.
and then the kids they're gonna do then if they haven't got no they got no football or nowhere to
Right,
event themselves.
and that's my point. You were doing it before they came with the funding. You were independent, doing things independent of them. And they came in and make us start dependent upon them, and that turn around, and then
I think some of the leaders, the community leaders, they had their fault as well because they saw the wages they could get out of it,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and because of that, we became vulnerable.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is a. But before Ranch, you sound like you had a question. I have a question for Noel about the music. Go ahead with you first.
No, I'm sorry. I was just listening in. I don't really have a question right now, but I will say I like do want to second the point where I think like it was probably more intentional. I think like disagreeing with both of you guys about that.
Or you don't think it was intentional?
No, I do. I definitely
Oh,
do
you
think
do?
it was.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. I don't think.
Yeah, because we used to make our own sounds
Yeah,
and hi-fis and our own sound and that. My dad used to play that. He used to have his own sets and stuff.
Mhm.
So for a very young age, I used to run around with him when he was playing his music and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you familiar with the sound that Shabba sang, Noel? What was popular in England? Them a call us pirates. Just
Yes.
because the sound system growing and said them can't shut me down. Just because we play what the
Yeah,
people want.
because
You know the song
I
I'm talking
I
about,
think
Noel,
it's
yeah?
yeah. I think now look at now everyone who's a Ras
Yeah,
from back a day, the real Rasta, they're laughing at us now
yeah,
because they were saying like they're gonna try their chemical warfare and they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that. And we're like, all right, Ras, all right, Dread.
mm-hmm,
Now, 20 years later, 30 years later, it's come to pass.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
COVID and all of that. They
mm-hmm,
were talking about this from the 70s,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and we're in a situation now where um, the black community doesn't have any. One thing we do have is ideas.
Mm-hmm.
We change the game every time. Every time an idea's been stolen, we change the game, find something new.
Mm-hmm.
But we've done everything. We've showed what a gold mine we are
Yeah,
in every aspect of sport. Um, just now trying to be respected now for how intelligent we are.
yeah,
Because we've got Nigerians coming out now and with the highest IQ ever and stuff like that. And these are kids.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But we just need to start. We just start to. We had the black Wall Street. Just need to repeat that again.
What's that, Noel? I'm not familiar with that. I didn't hear it. Black who?
The Black Wall Street, where
Oh,
they
Black Wall Street. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah,
we need to repeat that again.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we need to set up back our own infrastructure and system. We're doing it, and I think they make a trick us to say, okay, we will take care of you, and then them turn around and shut it down. So, which music influenced you the most, Noel? Cause you say your father a sound system. You must have been influenced by the music. Which song or which
Yeah.
singer influenced you the most?
Oh, oh, that's a tough one. Um, I haven't got particular artists, but I would say talented. I was listening to and think at that time. But 80s, I was listening to pirate stations. So I came up in the hip hop and beginning of hip hop and breakdance and stuff like that, electro and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the more, but my dad was he was into his lovers and his rockers
Mm-hmm.
um, and stuff like that. Because I know about 33 and the 7 inches and stuff like that. But I went into the soul and R&B and stuff. Uh, and then eventually ended up in the studio. So
Mm-hmm.
I ended up recording artists and stuff.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So from there, then I eventually moved to the visual side of things.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So
But my uncle was in a band called Cornerstone,
yeah.
which was quite a big reggae artist. We weren't big as Still Pulse and them people there, but
Yeah. Yeah.
they
David
were,
Hines and Seed Balls. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
but yeah, he toured at Paris and Europe and that for a little while.
Yeah.
That's my uncle on the Belgian side. He was a Ras then.
Okay. Okay. And as you talk about that, Noel, did the Rastafarian faith, what the word may I use, did it influence the Bajan community more than the Jamaican community?
I don't think so. I think too many parents were too harsh. They were more throwing their kids out for being Ras. I would say Jamaicans embraced it more because we had Bob Marley in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bob, Bob Marley was ahead of his time.
Yeah. We are ahead of this time. Yeah. Yeah. So you grew up.
And
Yeah. Go ahead, Noel.
say that
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
he he could he spoke how where everybody could understand.
Yeah. Yeah. That common touch to the language. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, haven't got anybody that speaks for us now. Um, I'll vote for anyone who's doing something for black people. Be fair,
Yeah. Yeah.
because we haven't got anybody on TV that's not a murderer or.
I'm sure the worst side that was. Ranchi, had a question?
I guess kind of like, do you think that's just for like Jamaican and like Barbados culture, or is it more so like, I guess just overall? You know what I mean?
I think everybody's pointing towards the states.
Mm-hmm.
So you would know more than me because you're there now. But in the respects of the states is still quite fickle, even though it does promote families and eating around the table and 4th of July and stuff like that, Thanksgiving Day and stuff like that. It's still got Ku Klux Klan. It's still got contrary views about things.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, England takes a lot of its morals statuses from America. So does everywhere. think everybody's got their eyes on the States. So at the moment, America is like the world's role model.
Hmm.
I don't know how or why that's happened. Don't know whether it's because of the music, because if you haven't cracked America, you're not seen to be really have done it, really been
Like as
really
a
seen as being successful.
Mm-hmm.
Am
Mm-hmm.
I making sense? I don't know if I'm.
No, I think that definitely does make sense. I think like at least for like the American music scenes kind of seems like the big hurdle to crack through, even like in other scenes as well. And then like if an artist does crack through it, then they've like made a path for like other artists to get into America's scene. Um, I've kind of seen it with
Cause,
a bit with like
sorry.
no, you're good. I kind of seen it a bit with like I don't know much about like dance hall. I could kind of see it with that, or even just like the Korean pop music, like that wavelength too. But yeah, no, I think it's pretty
Yeah,
interesting. One pushback I
I think dancehall. I think the only mistake dancehall could have done was not stay live.
mhm.
If they stayed with a live band, it'd still be more of a reggae scene.
Yeah, no, I could
Because
definitely.
the Afro beats and the reggae, the African sound, kind of took over where the reggae scene is left off.
Mm. Yeah, no, and I know
There
earlier.
is there's the, sorry, I keep cutting you.
No, my apologies. I know earlier you mentioned about how like music is a way for like people to meet. Do you think like again with like Carnival kind of getting like taken over and washed? Do you think like that's also another reason why we're struggling now to like almost find black role models currently?
Yeah, I would say that it's cut us off with the way of communicating and the way of being unified and stuff because sometimes we'd work so hard and just be waiting for the weekend to blow a bit of steam off. Now, people are just waiting for barbecues, cookouts.
Mm-hmm.
We don't congregate anymore because anything more than four guys is a riot. Everything seems deemed as being aggressive. I would say, especially in America, more so than in England, but England's following that as well. Like the police are very fearful of a black male.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's the rhetoric that they're sending out now that black males are aggressive.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we're very funny people. We're very loving people, and I think if you don't know us, if you don't know us, then you will be scared.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Jamaicans could say, just explain, just going to the shop and back, and you're in tears, in hysterics, because you can't. They're the best at telling a story.
No, absolutely. I guess I know like certain things like I think it was like 2 years ago, at least like here in America, where Biden signed in like Juneteenth, which is like a national celebration now as like a national holiday. And I guess like I here in Denver at least like last year there's like a Juneteenth celebration and when I was a part of like the Black Law Student Association and I was the event coordinator, one of like the big thing was is that we had to plan like a Juneteenth event. And I guess kind of just like, do you think certain holidays like that becoming like national events where like people and like these office jobs get the day off and those types of things, and kind of like a push towards community is helping, or do you think that like there's like another route that we could go for? Yeah, no, sorry. What I was basically talking about earlier was kind of just like Juneteenth is like a holiday celebrated here, like in America. And
Hmm.
it was signed, I think, as like a national holiday by Joe Biden. I want to say like 2 years ago, back in like 2021. And kind of just like I spent like my first Juneteenth celebration here in Denver just last year. And Colorado's like a very like just white state.
Yeah.
It's not much diversity as a whole. And I think it was like one of the times like the most black people I've seen in Colorado, like my entire like year and a half being there at that point. So I guess kind
Hmm.
of going off of that, do you think that holidays like Juneteenth are like a good way to kind of like connect in and like build in like the black community? And do you think that like kind of like government intervention with like making Juneteenth like a national holiday is like helping or like harming the community?
Um, well, as long as it stays to the essence of what the holiday's for, I think we haven't had many occasions to celebrate our blackness at all. I think a good example of that was, you remember the first film of Black Panther,
The movie?
the movie?
Yeah.
As the first time I seen black people really outwardly celebrating themselves as a people. Am I making sense?
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. I
Even though it's fictional and even though,
yeah, yeah.
you know, I'm sure that some of the aspects of it, the essence of it was from a historic point. But generally, that was the first time we've had a black hero celebrated in the western side of the sphere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, one thing I realized when I went to Jamaica, I was there in quite a while back now, 10 years ago. Um, I walked past a school and it had all these black heroes on the mural on the side of the school. And I only knew three. I was only familiar with three or four of them. And it was about 20 black heroes, from poets, um, freedom fighters, um, inventors and stuff like that. And I felt ashamed of myself that I didn't know more of them.
Hmm.
But if it was taught in schools, um, we'd get a bit more sense of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And let me give you my take, Ranchik. I asked a question to me, so in a sense, here. My take on this. And I
Mm-hmm.
go back to what Noel said initially, right? And my take might be controversial, but I might take. When
Mm.
when black people was in England in the 70s, as Noel said, early 60s, late 60s, we were doing our own festival and celebrating ourselves on our own. We never begged nobody no permission. And then the government step in and say, oh, they must sponsor it. And then them kill it.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
It'll kill it.
So me, I am saying, my solution is, we don't need no permission from nobody if we have no holiday for ourselves. What's stopping us from having our own business, our own place? If we want to shut down our business. You see what I'm saying to you? If we are making enough money for ourselves and we are saying we want to celebrate a Juneteenth for ourselves, we don't need no government to give no permission. That I might take. We were doing it before.
Because what's happening in Birmingham when it comes to black businesses is, if you drive around Birmingham now, all the black businesses are only um, Caribbean takeaways and barbers. That's the only thing we have.
Right. Right. So what's stopping us from having other
Most
business? Exactly.
and most black people who say they want to start a business don't want to be a barber and don't want to be a dumpling shop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with them. But the thing about it is they don't own that barbers and they don't own that Dublin shop. They're just releasing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when you go and buy black hair and black hair products, you have to go to the Asian man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because he sat down there, got the sponsorship of his parents, and sat there and goes, "How can I make money or more money?" And gone, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do sell black hair,
Mm-hmm.
and we cut every black salon and black barbers can't sell it at the price that they're selling at because they've got a massive store,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
that's just one aspect.
Mm.
Just one aspect because we spend billions on hair and black hair
Yeah,
every year.
other people here.
Billions,
Yeah.
yeah, billions. So we make everyone else millionaires.
Mm.
Nike and Adidas, making them millionaires, multi-millionaires, and we don't have nothing.
I guess I will say that I think like a large part of that also comes from like I think it's super intentional from like other parts of not like just non-black people as a whole. I think like a large part of it's like kind of like a gatekeeping aspect and kind of like
Very
something
much.
with like he got a loan from his parents and just like that access to generational wealth that like a lot of black people just don't have because of like the repercussions and things like that, you know? So
Yeah, because we have to build our dreams from
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
We can't go for a bank loan.
We
We
need to.
haven't got anybody to invest in us. No,
mhm,
no. You can't sit your mum and dad down and say, "Can you remortgage your house
mhm.
so I can do this business idea?" So,
I,
um,
I was fortunate in that, Noel. I had a father and a mother who literally invested in us in terms of say I could have been an entrepreneur. My father sold a house in Jamaica and I encouraged him to give me the money to buy a minibus as a car in Jamaica at the time. That was my
wow,
him
wow, you're the first person I heard.
No, I was lucky. We were
Yeah, for
lucky. We
sure.
were lucky. I was lucky. I consider my brother and I lucky that my father was like that. Because you're right. Nobody's don't talk about it that way to my father.
I'm glad you appreciate it because I've never
Yes.
heard that story.
So in a sense, I am an anomaly. I talk about myself in terms of say I had a father who invested in I being an entrepreneur. I was
Good for him.
and listen Noel, I was 19 at the time. I just left high school.
Wow,
And the man take up
wow,
thirty
he must
thousand
have
dollars and
believed in
give me
you.
yes. But my father was a different breed. That's all I can say. My father and my mother, me not leave my mother out there because I couldn't do it without fair support. You see what I'm saying to you? So you're right. Most parents not doing that. Most
No,
parents
they would laugh at you like, "Dad, will you remortgage your house so that I can go to university?"
yeah, go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, no,
They would laugh at you.
I think it's part of it's like most parents aren't doing that, but I just think most parents can't, you know? I think that's like again like
Yeah,
where it's intentional.
That is true too. That's true too, Randy. That is
Yeah.
true
but
too.
we've built a monster now because the kids now will not work for 30 years just to say they bought a house.
Hmm. Hmm. But
They want quick money.
yeah, yeah. But let me ask you a question, Noel, because you said you went to Jamaica. Where did you all have a passion to go to Jamaica, go visit it? When you hear your father talking about Jamaica, and well, your mother wasn't around more. Did you want to visit Jamaica more or Barbados more?
My eyes was on America.
Oh,
If you want the truth, um, I went to Jamaica because I was working there. So I had to do some filming filming and training some of the staff for the Jamaican Tourist Board.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to go, to be fair. I was working in France for the French Tourist Board, and it says if it was available a week before, you would have gone to Jamaica. So I was like, oh no. So a couple of people became sick a few months down the line, and they phoned me and says, "Stop what you're doing. We're gonna send it to Jamaica."
And this is the
for
first
3
time you're going
months.
to Jamaica, Noel?
Yes.
Oh, please tell us about that, man.
So obviously I got over there, and everything went well. I was driving around the whole of Jamaica, every parish and stuff. And I realised how lucky any Jamaican that got to England, how lucky they were. First time, well, it's not the first time because I've seen poverty in Cuba and places like that, in South America. But when you see people really struggling and stuff, you really appreciate and realise that anyone that got out was fortunate.
Yeah.
You really see people really struggling to eat, and just giving them plates of food is just would be enough to make them happy.
How old were you at the time, Noel?
40.
40, okay, so you're old enough, you understand. So you were saying that you felt lucky that your father had escaped and moved to a first world country, that you were living in Jamaica.
Yeah, because Jamaica don't really have much of a retirement plan in that respect. So you gotta have a plan beforehand to keep you, because you can't necessarily rely on family to look after you. So you've got to have some kind of backup plan when you're in Jamaica, because you're paying for your healthcare. I think that's what's keeping a lot of West Indians in England anyway. The healthcare.
Yeah.
Is free here.
Yeah. So before you go to Jamaica, what were you expecting? You had heard about Jamaica from your father, and were you anxious to get to Jamaica? Did you ever want to go to Jamaica before that age?
I was curious, but it wasn't drawing me. It wasn't drawing me over there, because all through growing up, I was going to and fro to America twice a year and stuff.
Oh, you're going to your mother to America? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I got you.
So I was distracted with the hip hop and the Brooklyn and.
Yeah. I got you. That completely
But
different life. Look you up on it completely. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was nothing other than relatives. There was nothing drawing me to Jamaica at that time. It's the most beautiful country I've ever seen, though. Some spots that I've gone to, Chaka Cove and Blue Mountain, and where else did I go? Ochi.
Ochi, yeah.
Mobay. It's just beautiful. Just driving through the countryside and stuff. It was beautiful. I went all out for full. At one point, I went to someone had a driving fine, and I went to the courthouse to pay the fine. And you just see how many people. They've got this thing where you have to tuck in your shirt when you go to the judge. You know about that?
Yeah, man, I know you're talking. If you go in front of
the baddest man, no matter what his crime is, has to tuck his shirt into.
Yeah, man, the baddest boy. And praise in front of the judge. You know that song. You know that song. Noel, I think it's Prince Buster. With name Judge. You know the song?
I don't, you know.
I forgot to find it and send it to you, man. Judge Dredd.
Yeah. I seen the baddest. I seen because the guy was saying to me, you see some of the police, some of them have red stripe, and some of them have white stripe.
Yeah.
And the one with the white stripe is they're escorting the bad man them.
Yeah.
And then the bad man come in there now with his handcuffs and that, and they took the handcuffs off him. And tie up him locks. Type of locks quick and tuck in his shirt.
Yeah, I will send the song to you right through. You can listen it afterwards. Yeah, it is a classic. I just wanted to remember that classic Prince Buster song from the 60s. So I'm a little older than you. No, I was born in 1962, so I'm familiar with the Rocksteady song. I'm going to ask you about the music in a second, but yeah.
You know, it's not like now, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I just thought about the judge, and the judge, I rough up the man in the courthouse. So, what were the people like, Noel, in terms of your first impression of Jamaica? We're in Jamaica. What were the people like? What were the people like?
It took me a few days to get used to because I'm an Englishman. I realised I was English when I got there.
Oh, what made you realize that?
Because we talk to people softly and please
gently.
and thank you and all that. Please and thank you and all that. And I was just seeing pure people nabbing up people's heads. And then I realised they didn't mean nothing by it.
Just over talk to one another.
Yeah. And the sun, especially when the sun's hot and stuff, they got no patience for nothing.
So you think that behavior have to do with the sun, Noel?
I think that most people from hot countries have got short tempers quite.
Maybe I never thought about it before. Yeah.
Quite fiery and passionate, and
yeah.
When I look at it, yeah, I don't think they know. I think it's something you just get used to, and then after a bit, you become just like your environment.
Yeah. So you were taken aback by that aggression then, that open aggression. Yeah.
Because in England, you get the same aggression, but it's a bit watered down. It's not as up in your face like that.
Yeah.
But they pay no mind. It's even on the phone they like that, and when you go in the store, people are like that, and then afterwards, once the initial greeting is gone, everything's fine. They just don't smile much.
Yeah.
But I loved it. The first thing that I noticed was coming off the plane and everybody's black, which is unheard of in England because it's quite multicultural and stuff. Going to the bank, everyone's black. In the city, in the town, everyone's black. Unless you go to somewhere like Africa and stuff, you don't really experience that. And everyone's getting along.
Yeah.
But, even though Jamaica's going for a bad time now.
But the poverty disturbed you, though. You were shocked by the poverty that existed in Jamaica.
Yeah, because there was a patty shop that I went to, and there's a man standing up there, and he had a pair of shorts on, and he just had a knot tied together. No shoes, no top on. I gave him some food, but yeah, he was almost in his birthday suit. I didn't. I've never known because the people who were homeless in England at least got blankets and clothes and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Shoes.
yeah.
You know,
So, how long did you stay in Jamaica that time, Noel?
3 months.
Wow, you stayed a long time then. So you get a good dose of what the culture is like and the difference.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
3 months.
how were you treated by other Jamaicans, by the officials? Because you're basically an official business. How were you treated?
They treated me like a royalty.
Mm.
Treated me because, especially when they see me at work and stuff, they saw me as them. They were trying to keep me there longer. To be honest, they were trying to pay for me to stay longer, so they could make some money out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Because one or two of them wanted me to do some music videos for them. They would get the artists, me sort out the storyboard and film them and they'd charge them whatever they want to charge them and
Mm-hmm.
pay me. So they're they're very business savvy.
That's how your skill and your potential.
Yeah, I was the golden goose.
Yeah, yeah. Can you actually do music videos then? That's what you're saying. That's your profession.
Well, I don't. I can do them. I just don't do them. Um, I do more on film sets and music videos. So music festivals.
Oh, you prepare the set.
Yeah, I do the sets. I sort out the filming,
Okay.
produce it basically and stuff. But
I got you.
I can do music videos.
I got
Just that music videos, you've got a shorter turnover. You got to do everything in one day.
you. Yeah. You basically set up the background, the stage, and that sort of thing.
Everything is in a rush, really. Um, with films, you can be working on a film for weeks,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you only have to do a couple of scenes a day and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm working schedule.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the title you give what you don't know well? What's the title of your what the skill you use, the skill you have?
I'm a TV exec or a TV producer.
Oh, TV executive producer. Okay, I got you. I got you. Make sure things set up the right way. Okay. So have you ever been back to Jamaica since that?
Yes, for 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, I got back to Jamaica. Whether I'd lived there, I'm not sure. Just because you can have a great life in Jamaica. However, it's owned by Chinese now. Like
Yeah.
to me, um, it's surviving off tourism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
From being perfectly honest, the Chinese, everything that's important, they've got.
Yeah. Yeah. Ranchi, you sound
Stop
like
me from
yeah, go ahead now. I'll finish up, sorry.
stop me from wrong, but
No man, you go ahead.
that's how I see Jamaica and that.
Yeah.
Um, Jamaica's great. I mean, Barbados is a different feel.
Yeah, I want you to talk about Barbados. I want you to tell me about that if you ever been it.
Barbados has got less of a hustle to it.
Hold on a second now. Let me see if Ranchi have any question about Jamaica before we go to Barbados. Ranchi had any
Yeah,
question?
Quick question. Was the 2 week visit this time, was it for like personal or was it like again for work?
and now it's personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And what was the difference like as opposed to work versus personal?
It was more stressful because I had to deal with my family and stuff. Everybody's got you down as a millionaire because you're in England.
Yeah. I did not use it at
So,
all. I got you.
so I all of a sudden, instead of walking around with one or two people, I was walking around with 11 people deep, and nobody's got money except me. So I
Yeah.
have to feed everybody. I'd say Jamaica, you'd have to live there. You'd have to be like very, very giving. Because if you're not, people set for you, don't they?
People what?
If you're not giving,
You repeat that,
uh,
Noel?
they, they set for you, don't you? They set on you because they just feel like
Oh, they
it's
said,
cool.
I got you. I got you. Cool. Like, share.
Yeah, you come with your rich foreign ideas and you're not really into us and you're better than us and stuff
Mm-hmm,
like that.
mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. So,
Because there's a period where a lot of Jamaicans are going back.
yeah.
My dad would go back tomorrow.
Yeah. So what's stopping him?
My mum's not ready yet.
Okay. Yes, your mom or
No,
your stepmom?
my stepmom's not ready to go
Yeah.
to retire. So yeah, until that time, then they'll probably re-talk again. But my dad would go tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm ready for go back home. So him go back home often then?
No,
Not for visit, no go visit at all?
he's been more times than me though. But no,
Okay, okay, I got you. I got you. So does he still have family in Jamaica, brothers, sisters?
we've got massive family, um, all in the sort of Spanish town,
Lindsay area?
Kingston, Linstead area. 'Cause we're from Williamsfield in St. Catherine's.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and apparently we had a lot of land
Mm-hmm.
around there once, around my grandmother's era.
Mm-hmm.
We sold a lot of it up. So there's, as usual, there's a family feud with a neighbouring family.
Yeah, I like when you put that Noel, as usual. Yeah, that's a common thing, you right?
So yeah, I've got cousins that married into that family and flared up that old argument that's dying out, flared it back up to the forefront again.
Yeah, yeah, that not gonna away. I like when you put yeah, yeah. So let me ask you about Barbados then. Have you ever been to Barbados?
I have
Okay. And how many
total different experience.
how many times have you been to Barbados?
Just the once.
Once. Okay. How old you were when you did that?
29.
Oh, so you went back to Barbados before you actually went to Jamaica.
Yeah.
And
But
what
we're funny enough, the whole of my brothers and sisters and my mum and dad, we're going to Barbados end of this year as a family holiday.
okay, going to Barbados. Okay, nice, 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 nice.
So all the Jamaicans are going to Barbados.
Oh, really? Yeah? The Jamaican side of the family going to Barbados.
Yeah, so my dad, who's Jamaican through and through, he's gone Barbados.
So including your dad going to Barbados.
He's never been.
But he's going in December.
He's going in December with all of us.
That's nice. That's very nice. No, that is nice. So
Mm.
tell us about that Barbados visit then. Or what was it like the first time visiting Barbados? And what motivated you to want to go to Barbados? I know your mom was from there, but was it your mother encouraged you or you just wanted to know Barbados?
I just wanted to know Barbados because they don't talk about my mum's side of the family don't really talk much about um, back home and stuff. Very private.
You mean, hold on, Noel. You mean they don't talk about it as much as Jamaicans do?
No, they don't. They don't talk about the past and stuff. They just mention, this is your relative and that relative and whatever, as if you know who they're talking about. But they don't really talk about childhood, schooling, education, nothing. They don't really speak about that. They just talk about what's going on amongst the family at that time. It's really weird.
Yeah, no, so hold on. But why I continue? But what do you think account for that difference in terms of, say, Jamaicans are going to talk about themselves loud and clear. And you're saying,
Yeah.
but why do you think account for that?
I think it's very much that stiff upper lip thing where they just don't show their feelings as much.
Where you say they're more English than Jamaican, then that's what you're saying.
Yeah, they just, that whole when parents don't tell their kids that they love them and stuff, they just show them.
I hear you.
So if you was to pull up your parent, my grandparents, and say do you love me? They would say, well, I feed you. I put clothes on your back. They wouldn't actually say the words.
I got you. All right, yeah. So what was Barbados like? The first time I go to Barbados, what was it like?
Very clean. Very expensive. And very beautiful. The beaches are quite empty. So it's no problem with getting to the beach and just not being congested with a lot of people and stuff. Loads of rum. There's more rum than Jamaican. Everyone that talks about white rum, Jamaican rum, but Beijing's got loads more rum. Stronger as well.
Stronger as well?
Yeah, 130 and stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah? And Jamaicans as well? Like 102?
102, something like that.
Yeah. I didn't even know that, yeah.
Yeah, they've got quite a few of them.
Yeah.
But, Bridgetown is the spot for the drinking if you want to drink. Bridgetown is where the rum bars are.
Yeah. What was the people like in Barbados? No, the difference in the people.
I think they're fun-loving people.
Yeah.
Very fun-loving. It's quite my family's quite strange actually because half my family are very dark and the other side are very fair, but we've got the same parents or grandparents, should I say. So two sisters could be standing next to each other and nobody would know they were both sisters. Because one looks mixed race and one looks dark.
Wait, so one is a brown in?
Lighter than that, looks like some of them look like even almost mixed race to white.
Like, really?
Yeah, some of my aunts are fair. And then my mum's dark. My other aunt is dark. But yeah, so it runs all the way through because on my granddad's side. Because Stefan, Dan and people like that were related to me. And if you saw my complexion to her complexion, she's quite fair. She's an artist. She's quite fair, but yeah, it's quite strange. But They're very loving, quite stern. Or Barbados, you feel quite safe. No one's trying to really sell nothing to you. Comparison to Jamaica bag walker now, everyone's selling something.
Rant, you have any question for Noel about Barbados?
Yeah, no, I had a quick question. It's kind of just like having been to both countries, I guess what are like the biggest differences you've noticed? And like what are the biggest similarities you've noticed between like Jamaica and Barbados?
Jamaica does depend on where you live in, but where I was staying in Ochi, I stopped in a hotel and I still got caught up with the electric cutting off and stuff. So the infrastructure isn't completely there yet, depending where you are. Barbados seems to be a bit more money's been spent on the infrastructure and the organising of the country. Just that it's very pricey, everything's being shipped in. So it's a lot more expensive to live there. The food, you know, one thing I like about America is that after you bought your house and your car and that, the standard of living is quite cheap. I don't know if I'm in the right place to say that because of England. I'm living in England, where it's the most expensive place to live. But generally, as long as you're not buying designer stuff and that, you can live quite minimal expenses in America. Putting aside houses and cars and stuff. Barbados is pricey. Would I live there? I think I could live there. I think I could live there. I don't know about for the indefinite, but could live there for a year or two.
Could you live in Jamaica?
I mean, yeah, that'd be a struggle.
Eh?
That'd be a struggle. I love my country, you know. I love my country, but I don't know if I could live there.
I fully put that in. Let me put you on the spot. You say you love your country and you're referring to Jamaica. Which country you consider more home, Barbados or Jamaica?
Jamaica.
Okay.
Jamaica. But it's just that when you watch the news and stuff, you just realize that even the news in Jamaica is not up to scratch. I'm not being critical, don't mean to be too critical of for the news that I was watching. I'm picking all the faults in the way it's been filmed and stuff like that, but yeah. One thing I noticed about Nigerians that they sent a lot of their kids to uni because I went to uni with a lot of them.
What's uni?
Bedfordshire, which is in Luton.
That's like a school?
It's a university.
University, okay, that's what I'm trying to get. Yeah.
And a lot of them guys were doing music videos and stuff. And then they went back to Nigeria when they graduated and started to upgrade their music videos and their films. And now their films are acknowledged by Netflix and everywhere. Because some of them Nollywood films are pretty good,
Yeah.
storyline wise. Just that they weren't filmed very well. But now you can't say anything about their films.
So they seem to
So
have.
what
Yeah, go ahead, Noel. Sorry.
sorry, so what I'm trying to get across is that we should have done the same thing.
Yeah, you said we are talking about we in Jamaica mostly
Like,
and the Caribbean Caribbean overall. Yeah, yeah.
but we got enough kids that are at uni.
Yeah. Yeah, so why I think we haven't done that? What's stopping us from doing that?
Because we haven't got we haven't got enough black business. Because in theory, say like me going to university, what should happen really is that I get graduate and come and work back at a black business or my family business or whoever's business that I want to work with. But what happens is I go uni and I have to work for Barclays or whatever bank or whatever job I can get because there is no black businesses, not enough to to to, to pay me or pay the population of black people that are coming back from uni.
Yeah, yeah.
If we had businesses, then we could come from uni and come straight back into working.
Yeah.
Because the Jews don't even go to university. They just go to their own private school and go, Dad, I'm going to graduate such and such. And he goes, I'll get you to work for your uncle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they leave their school and go straight to the diamond shop or wherever they're working.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to create our own, man. It come back to the same question you asked earlier, Rancha.
Yeah.
We need, and I don't know, because I just say we're full of ideas, but we're not
With
implementing.
full ideas.
But what you're saying then is not a black thing because you say Nigerians doing it. I mean, I say, then why we can't do it in the Caribbean?
Because we don't trust each other.
Yeah. And why,
We
I'm going to push it in. Why I think that is?
Wow, it's the divide and conquer, isn't it? It's the
Okay, I hear you.
we
Yeah,
we
that is an embedded legacy of slavery in Jamaica. That is so true. That
I asked the question to someone. I'm going to be a bit um controversial now. I said to somebody like, because everybody was saying, where are we going to go? If there's somewhere you wanted to retire, where would you go and stuff? And someone was saying Africa and stuff like that. And I'm entertaining the idea of going back to Africa, but in myself, I'm thinking, am I too westernized now? Would I go back to Africa and try and set up a little England
mm-hmm.
in Africa? Because in theory, we was fine before the Western ideal come.
Mm-hmm.
But would I want to go there and try and put central heating and air conditioning and hot water and
The modern Western
internet
facility. Yeah.
and try and set up a government and set up police and set up all these
Port
things that
system,
I'm used to?
infrastructure, and everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we is our dream it's their dream, our dream now,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not working for them.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I hear you. Ranchi, as I head towards winding down with Noel, is there any question you want me? Any question you have, about this topic?
I'm trying to think. Like, I honestly, and I will say I don't know much about like African culture enough to kind of like speak on it, but I think that like I do agree with like your sense about like would I be creating like a little England, like have I become too westernized? And for me, I think what kind of sets apart like these communities like Jamaica, like Africa versus England, I think is that like traditionally follows like a more community based type of to get through life versus
Yeah,
just like, individualistic base. And I think that's kind of just like my only comment on that and just where I think like these communities strive versus like in England and other places. So, yeah. Or even like in America too. I think it's like very individualistic versus like community based. So,
I will say there's a bit of um, a clash between Jamaicans and Africans,
mhm.
which I only picked it up. I heard about it,
That's in the
but
UK.
in the UK,
Yeah, not.
I heard about it, but I only seen it for myself when I went to university,
Mm-hmm.
and the girls were talking about a Jamaican boy, English born, but he was Jamaican, and they were talking about the scenario if they took the Jamaican boy home to their parents. And I was a bit shocked at what, because there was maybe about 30 girls, black girls, all the African descent. And they were talking about how if they brought this Jamaican home, their parents would cut them off. And my mum would just cry. And it just was a bit of a shame that we're not as unified as we make out,
Mm-hmm.
or we got a long road before we get on the same page.
Crazy. No, I've definitely seen like they call them like diaspora wars on Twitter between like Africans like and Black Americans and Jamaicans and kind of just like that. I feel like I've usually seen like the brunt of it of like Caribbean people versus like Black Americans or like Africans versus like Black Americans, but never like Caribbean versus like Africans. So very like interesting perspective. Like I would have never known that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got asked one time by an African security guard at the uni. He was like, he came over to me and he goes, "What part of Lagos are you from?" And I said to him, "I'm not from Lagos, I'm from Jamaica." He goes, "Oh, nice, nice, nice." He didn't speak to me again. He didn't speak to me, didn't even say bye. Walked out.
Uh, you're right, Ranty. I wasn't aware of that clash between Nigerians and. But I'm not surprised. I am not surprised that Jamaicans will be clashing with another culture. That is not. There's something about Jamaicans, Noel, that there's a certain historical thing behind that. I have a theory, but I won't bother expand on it tonight.
Yeah, I could tell you a story too.
I wasn't aware that it reached that stage where we're clashing in the in London at all. I wasn't aware of that happened.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
It's
So why did they assume say you were from Lagos?
probably because I was dark,
Okay. I got you.
but but I have no problem. It didn't offend me but I just didn't want him to start talking in Nigerian and me just have a blank face,
You kind of
blank
understand the
look.
dialect at all. Yeah. You were just being honest. Yeah.
But he never spoke to me ever again.
Yeah. And that's kind of strange. I don't think Jamaicans would have done that. That is very strange.
No, no.
If you're from a different,
But
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
But
yeah,
I know the argument. It's just that Jamaicans always still got the aspect of being free in it. So they're 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 rebels.
yeah, man. That's how we. As the song they said,
We're,
them a call us pirates.
we're ready for the revolution.
Yeah, how we are gonna lead it? I just saw.
That's why that's why I love Jamaica because when I seen some of the Maroons and stuff, you could see how strong the features were. That they haven't changed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a certain tenacity about Jamaicans. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's very, very different than most of the black people in the world. I can't, I can't speak for that now. I know what I say. What I say. But anyway, Noel, believe it or not, I almost here for I got close to 2 hours, and let me ask you a couple of last things before I wind down. Is there any question you think I could have asked you that I didn't ask you? The floor is yours. Then the topic what you think I could have bring up that I didn't bring up in our with 2 hour discussion.
um, yeah. Probably how people nowadays
Oh, people nowadays what?
date.
Yeah.
How do people meet each other now?
All right, talk about that then. Talk about that. Talk about that.
Because it sounds like it's just quite strange. Like in the 80s and 90s, you could see somebody approach them, beg them for a number, hope that the number is the right number,
Mm-hmm.
phone them, have to navigate yourself past the parents
Mm-hmm.
to get a date, and then now it's gone from that to texting to now online dating.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
So it's just strange how people communicate now. Like now, if you support somebody in the streets, most people think you're a weirdo. It's
Yeah.
gone the other way.
Yeah. 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 Ho- ho-
First time of approach is online.
yeah. Yeah. Hold on a second now. Let me ask Arancha because I think you have to leave in a few, and you and I will just continue for a little bit more.
Okay.
Arancha, you have any final thoughts before you have to leave?
Oh, I want to thank you, Noel, just for joining us today and talking about all the things that we touched on. I think we got to like expand on a lot of different topics, and this is my first time like having someone on the show who like wasn't from Jamaica or like parents wasn't just from Jamaica. So I think that's
Yeah.
like interesting perspective. So thank you again, just
You're
for
welcome. I think I came off topic a little bit, but
No,
oh,
man.
there's a topic. Like,
Everything is on topic here, Noel. Don't worry about that. Everything is on topic here. Nothing off topic.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
you feel free to invite me again. Hopefully, I can add to your show anytime you want.
Oh no, definitely no, definitely. We will reach out to. I mean, Arantxa, we're leaving, but we don't finish it. Cause you and I going to
Okay,
continue a little bit. We don't finish it. I mean, I just want Arantxa to say her last word before she go.
no problem.
Cause you were talking about how people meet. Have a good night, Arantxa.
Thank you both. Have a great night.
Yeah, man.
All right, lovely to meet you, Angie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Noel. So you were saying the online dating thing. What fascinating in terms of say? You're saying you look like a
I, I,
weirdo.
think-
Yeah,
I
go
think,
ahead.
I think, I think it's made people go crazy now
Yeah, yeah.
because people now would more be interested in having a Instagram page,
Mm-hmm.
be on Instagram than having a real person. Because they get instant gratification, and if you've got batty and breast and lips in a picture, and you get everyone liking it, that's good enough for a lot of ladies.
Yeah, it looked that way. So expanding on that thought, Noel. what are we going to do when AI takes over?
Well, I read something many years ago saying that the secret of happiness is wanting less.
It's doing what?
Is wanting less.
Wanting
The
less, yeah.
secret of happiness is wanting less.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, it's going to get to a point where people are going to go, enough's enough.
Yeah, I think.
Because one thing about having a smartphone or iPad or a laptop is that you constantly have to be stimulated.
Yeah.
So you move from your TV to your laptop, to your laptop, to your iPad, to your iPad, to your phone,
Yeah.
and back again. So from what I've learned is that from boredom encourages creativity.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And these kids nowadays can't be bored for a second.
You're right. I never thought about it that way before, It's like they have so much distraction, there's no way they're going to be creative at all.
They can't sit. I don't know if you've got grandkids.
Yeah, I do. Two
But
young ones, 1 7 and 1 5.
if you
Yeah.
got grandkids and you say, we're going out, we're going to auntie such and such's, they'll say, has auntie got internet?
Yeah.
They don't want to go anywhere where there's no Wi-Fi.
I know what you're talking about. I have deliberately make sure whenever I have the time, I would just take my grandson outside and we just go ride.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in
Good.
Florida anyway, so it's easy for do that. Is what I'm saying to you, but I encourage him to start riding on the moon now without training wheels. So whenever I get the chance, we just go ride. We just go ride.
Because to be honest, everything was tested on the likes of you and me.
Yeah, man. And but how we all get out of this? How we going to get them away from it? Because we give them the Wi-Fi and the phone and all that. It's not like they can buy it for them. We, the parents, have to be blamed.
Yeah, we have to, just the same way where we put them in football teams and karate clubs and all that.
Yeah.
We have to do the same thing with them, getting them off the phones.
Yeah.
Because if you ask most kids now, what do you want to be? Most of them say, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be an influencer.
Fame on YouTube, yeah. They want that famous fame there. No, they're not producing value at all. They just want to be known.
Yeah.
They just want to get some likes.
And then when you say to them, what do you actually do? They can't tell you because they celebrate success more than talent.
That's such an important question. What do you do? Like you get wow.
You know, it's not right.
Yeah. It's an interesting topic now. I don't know where we're going to head to with this, but I'm saying we have to take charge back our life first. And I don't know how we're going to do it. The children and the children past which adult I know, your children, my children, probably we can't talk to them, but I don't know how we can influence the grandchildren them. It's a different world, man. A different world. But you talk about sports now. Were you growing up in the UK?
Yeah.
Were you attracted to any sports any at all? I mean, I played cricket at school in Jamaica. I was a good enough cricketer. I played cricket at school in Jamaica. And I followed that great West Indies cricket team in the 1980s. Right?
I was watching. Yeah.
Were you in any sports? Did you have any particular sports you like?
I played all of them. I played cricket, I played football, I played badminton, I was good at athletics. I was good at martial arts, karate, and kung fu, boxing, table tennis. I was in all the
sports then.
I was in all the school teams that was there. I was counter play for badminton. I was a counter play for football. Table tennis, I was just good. I wasn't county player.
Oh, it's a counter. What I mean,
But
county.
for the county,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, so you're good enough then if you're playing county
Yeah.
football. You're good enough then, Noel. A good enough player
Yeah,
then.
I was running, because my two uncles could run 100 meters in 10,
Oh,
and I could run 100 meters in 10 as well.
you were quick
So I
then.
was
You
fast.
were fast then, Noel.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But them days, um, your parents just want you to get a trade, and
Yeah, them never encourage athletics as a way for even make money out of it at all. No.
yeah, so it was just about getting a trade, and we wasn't really encouraged to go to university. It's only from the 90s people started to really change up and decide to go to university and get education and stuff. But before that, it was getting plumbing, building, building, um, factory work, assembly line, car manufacturing and stuff like that. So that kind of work, which is all being killed off in England and the Midlands,
Mm-hmm.
because that was a time when you could leave a job at 10 o'clock and be in another job at 12.
Yes, so what you saying? Those jobs no longer around like a plumbing and electrician?
Our plumbing and electrician, yes, because there's loads of redevelopment going on in the
Right, and
Midlands.
you always gonna need that. Right, right.
Yeah, but when it comes to car manufacturing
Oh,
and warehouse work and stuff,
oh, that's a different thing. I can't see where that has been outsourced to China and them thing. That's why, yeah.
yeah, China took that over a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What plumbing, the hands-on thing where you do in your community that won't go nowhere at all. So those are safe profession then, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, plumbing,
Electric,
childcare,
welding, certain type of welding or something.
welding, even mechanics.
Yeah, yeah, fixing the cars, maintaining the cars. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Even mechanics is not a safe job anymore because all the cars are full of computers now.
Computerized. Well, that's true. That is true. That is true.
If the body work, yes, but
Yeah,
when it comes to the engine and calibration and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah. The
no.
body work different. Yeah, 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 yeah. Definitely, definitely. I can't see that now. I
Yeah,
can.
there's no job for life, and I think most black people now are trying to work for themselves.
Yeah, which is a good thing. Which to me is a good
It
thing.
is a good.
That I encourage and I love that more more and more. You know.
Well, that's how it was back in the day, years ago, in the 60s and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, well, even earlier than that.
Yeah.
We had to work for ourselves,
Yeah. 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 You know what I'm
and
saying? Yeah. I mean, the one I take from our conversation is that we used to put on our own festival in the 60s.
yeah,
I mean, we forget back.
belong
We forget back to that. We never asked
after,
about the
yeah.
permission to put on nothing at all. That's a big takeaway from the conversation I have with you tonight. I say we never go beg nobody say we need the money for put on this or that. We just do it for ourselves.
What I'd like to see more of though is black people buying their own land.
Yeah, but that's a part of doing it for yourself now. Well, exactly. I agree with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I agree with you.
Buying land, even if it's growing stuff on the land, not necessarily building houses and stuff, but
No, I just
buying.
find something to do with the land. Yeah, 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 yeah. So before I close out, Noel, is there any other topic where you think I could have bring up that I didn't bring up at all? Anything you want to
Um,
talk about?
that's a good question. Um, I might have to get back to you on that one.
Huh?
No, I know I've got a few things to say, but I just can't think on the top of my head.
Okay, okay, I got I got. No, I
I
mean,
definitely, definitely think we need a platform to communicate, though.
Yeah. Well, this is the beginning. This is the beginning now. Let's spread the word. Say, I was started just
Yeah,
talking about the memories of people who went from the Caribbean to to England in the 60s and had children and grandchildren. I want to talk to them, and every one of them, no matter which country they're from, just come and share the
yeah. I've
story.
got a cousin. I've got a cousin who's he's a doctor
Yeah.
in sociology, and he's written a couple of books on the that hysteria of coming to England.
Oh,
But
really?
he's put it in the form of he was a footballer,
Yeah.
and the black players made their own league
Yeah. In the UK?
in the UK, and then from there, then he researched all the players from that league. Some of them became professional footballers and stuff, and they were born here, but their parents were from Jamaica or the Caribbean, should I say?
Oh.
And I can definitely make it.
Oh, no, definitely Noel. I'd love to talk to him. Trust me, that is a conversation I'd
Yeah.
love to have.
So he teaches at the universities and that. He's a professor. He's a doctor of sociology.
Yeah. No, that is something I'd love to talk to him, Noel. I'm going to follow you up on that link, bro.
Yeah, and he's serious.
Yeah,
He
no.
gives his statistics and stuff.
Yeah, man, I'd love your film story. I'd love your. And he was born in the UK like you,
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
of Jamaican parents.
yeah. He actually thought I should have been a professional footballer myself
Oh,
because
really?
he couldn't work out whether I was left-footed or right-footed.
Oh, that's how good you were.
Yeah, I was fast as well.
But you never take it serious then.
Well, he needed me at the time. I didn't like London, so he was like he wanted me to come to London and he'd get me in a few trials.
Okay. I got you.
Um,
So what team was he? What team he ended up playing for? Your cousin?
he played for QPR and my other cousin he played for West Ham.
Oh, good. I love you. QPR is doing one out. The second division, the whole time second division, as they call it, our tournament.
Yeah, but they were Premiership at the time. It was
Yeah. I remember they were in
Queensland.
Premiership recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, what's your cousin's name?
Paul Blake.
Paul Blake. I try to remember if I used to see him name on the QPR team. Yeah. No, very interesting, Noel. I'll be fascinated for talk to your cousin, Sir Paul.
You know, funny enough, he's my dad's cousin. He's my age, but he's my dad's cousin.
Yeah, man, I understand what I
And
mean. Yeah.
my second cousin.
Your second cousin. What is your age? No, man, I know. Not happening in a lot of family. That's a common thing. I know exactly what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, so his mum is my great aunt.
Son. Yeah.
So his mum is my grandmother's sister.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I understand, man.
Yeah.
I understand. And I really love that.
Big family both sides. Big family both sides.
Yeah.
But
yeah. No, that's an interesting thing because just that story alone about the Black Players League, it's almost like they had a Negro League here in the US with baseball.
yeah.
That's something similar.
Yeah, it's a bestseller, apparently.
Yeah.
It's a bestseller. So I think he's on his third or fourth book now.
I'd be interested to talk about that and see why that league went away and the history behind the league there. I would be very, very interested in that, Noel. I'm going to follow up on that. So talk to him and tell him, say...
I'll give him a phone. I'll give him a call tomorrow and see what's
and then send me the link and then tell him my link and then I invite him on. No, definitely, Noel. Definitely. So how long yeah, go ahead.
He's got a few stories to tell.
Yeah, man. No, man. I definitely want to hear him.
He'll tell you about the racism in football.
Yeah. Yeah, that I want to talk about that. I have a solution for that, and it's simple to me, and it's today I'm thinking about it, when I watch happening to the guy from Real Madrid last week, Vinny Jr., and I'm saying, the moment, instead of taking a knee at the beginning of the game, the moment a team or a set of players decide, the moment they are racist remarking at the stands, they walk off the pitch, you just see how quickly
they would do something.
Then clean it up, yeah, man. Yeah. The players have to put them money where their mouth is, man.
Yeah.
And not just the one player which affecting the whole of the team. I have to say, anytime you just tell me if you're somebody I call you monkey or whatever, or the monkey chant, we go and walk off of the field with you. And the fans, them are going to realize, say, them now going to see them football players a week time. The television, them now go have no football match to watch. And you are going to see how quickly.
Do you remember Andy Cole?
Yeah, he used to play for Manchester United. Yes.
You remember when Shearer was deemed as being the best striker in the country.
Yeah, man, when he used to play for Newcastle, yeah?
But Shearer didn't want to play with Andy Cole.
I didn't know that, yeah?
And Andy Cole decided, it says to him, I'm the best forward in the country. And I'll prove it to you. Every Saturday I'm going to score a goal. And he scored the goal every Saturday for weeks.
Week in, week out.
And then they had to let him in the squad.
I have to make him play for England. I didn't know about that story. Noel. I wasn't aware of that story at all, yeah?
Yeah, in late 90s, but I would have said.
Yeah, man, yeah. When Manchester
Andy was doing bicycle kicks and everything, scoring goals to make a point.
Yeah, Andy Cole.
But Shearer didn't want to play with him.
Yeah, Andy Cole used to play with the guy from Trinidad, Dwight York.
Dwight, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that team. Yeah.
Funny enough, I used to see a girl who used to be with Dwight.
Oh, Dwight?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of split up him and that Katie Price girl.
Yeah. No, talk to
Footballers are messy, man.
Huh?
Some footballers are messy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But I definitely want to talk to Paul about that, Noel. So you reach out to him, man. Reach out back to me, and I will follow you up with that because,
I'll sort it out.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, we're there for over 2 hours now, Paul. You have any closing remark before I close out the program, man?
Just thank you for inviting me, and I hope I made some valid points, thought-provoking points for the listener.
No, man, definitely, Paul. Definitely. Every story is important, man. As I said to you, there's a story tonight about we used to do one thing, and then we make the government come in and say they're going to help, and then turn around and shut it down. It's a lesson what we need to go back to. We don't need nobody to come help. We need to just go back to doing our own thing.
Yeah, we do.
Having our own community, having our own business, even if it means having our own football league, even if you have a Premier League,
It doesn't even have to be big businesses.
No, it don't have to be big businesses, no. That's exactly my point.
It doesn't have to be world domination or anything like that.
No. We just have to have our own way to spend money amongst ourselves. Exactly. And that was the vision of Marcus Garvey, Marcus Garvey was Jamaica's first national.
I'm actually reading books on him,
Yeah, Marcus Garvey was Jamaica's first national. And his vision was the Black Star Line. You know the song where they sing, I forget the group, 7 Miles of Black Star Line. That was what Marcus Garvey's vision was, the actual shipping line he wanted to create, the Black Star Line, where black people could have trade. They had their own shipping line. Marcus Garvey was well ahead of him time, man. You think about that, instead of we a ship of goods from Chinese ship or US ship or German ship, we were setting up a trade route between Africa and the Caribbean and anywhere black people there. That was the vision of Marcus Garvey. That was the purpose of Black Star Line.
Wow.
I know friends whose father had a share in the Black Star Line. He have the share certificate and throw me something. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, did you know that there's a mineral in the sand in Jamaica, and apparently it's probably one of the only places in the world you can get this. It's a mineral. It's like a salt,
Oh, I
but
didn't know
it's
that. Where in Jamaica that is?
just on the beach.
Oh,
I don't know where,
oh,
but
really? Anywhere upon the beach, really? Yeah.
one I'm gonna have to research it. But I saw it on the news as well
Or if it
about it. They were picking up and sieving this salt or this mineral out of
the sand
beach,
in Jamaica. Yeah.
and basically can be used for the silicon chips
For what?
for the mobile phones and that, for the silicon,
The
the
chips for the
microchip.
mobile phone. Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you.
So basically, America will give you something like £10,000, $10,000 per certain weight, like a ton,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
for this mineral.
Oh, really?
But that's next to nothing,
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, exactly.
because that's the only place they can get it from. Like where?
Yeah, well, I'll give it to her for nothing to someone. But if you find that article, send it to me to you, Noel. I'm curious to know about that.
Yeah,
I'm curious to know
yeah,
about that.
but they've been digging it for years. But America been
Buying it for nothing.
capitalizing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Anyway, Noel, this was a wonderful, wonderful conversation, my brother. You come here late in the night in the UK. I know it's way past midnight. I know what you said, boy. Lance, this would not be a problem at all. So I appreciate you staying up late for joining the Expatriate Members conversation. And looking forward to talk to you some more. Looking forward for the just tell everybody and anybody who interested to come tell them story, because this is what it's about.
I've got a few people.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Just tell them, say, you
I've
talk.
got another friend who's half Jamaican, half Belgian as well.
Yeah, man, I'm curious to hear more of those to Noel. Exactly. I want to hear more of those.
She's a woman, but yeah.
Yeah, no, man. Even better. Even better. Even better. I want to hear the female perspective, too. Just, I'm not partial at all. I want to hear any and everybody's story.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So I'll spread the word out, brother.
Definitely. You reach out to me, I have my number, you have my email address. You just reach out to me, whether by text or by email, WhatsApp. And let me know, so Lance, you have somebody, you send me the number, and then I will send them a link for invite, pick a time, and then we'll take it from there. No, man, I appreciate this. I must call Pet and tell her. So, where you knew Pet from? Oh, where did you know Pet from?
I met her through her husband.
Oh, Dillman. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Because he's from
Yeah,
Barbados, so he's like you as well. Bajan and Jamaican,
yeah.
yes. I didn't know that until recently. Yes.
So we go back maybe 15 years.
Way back, yeah. No, Pet is
not. I don't lose friends like that, they lose me.
Yeah. No, man, Pet is one of my cousins. I have lots of cousins in England.
Lovely man.
Lots of cousins in England. Lots of cousins. So, anyway, Noel, this. Yeah, go ahead. Sound like you were saying something.
She's a good one, man. She put me onto you and stuff, and she says, "Here's my cousin and whatever."
Yeah, man.
She didn't say where he was, though.
No. well, yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry, I finished.
No. Remember, no, this day and age, you know, it don't matter where you are, you know.
It don't.
We live in an online world, and that's the next thing people have to understand. Where you choose to live.
You sound like around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. It don't matter where you live now, you can communicate and set up business and have dialogue with one another, like what we're doing here tonight. So it really...
could you imagine if we'd have started this over the COVID?
Yeah, the COVID pushes. Yeah. The online thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a whole heap you can do online now. Well, that's the future, I think. That is the future. That is the future. So I'm encouraged. I'm glad you took the opportunity to reach out to me, and I reach out to you. So we'll make it work. And you just send me some more people, as much as you
Yeah,
can,
man.
that we can get this conversation going and start and set up one space, you know.
Yeah,
I
for
want
real.
I want these days maybe you can make a movie about memories. With the
I've
movie,
got camera there sitting here, you know.
eh?
I got film cameras sitting here.
Yeah, man. Okay. Yeah, man. May I have to talk about that, man. When the time come, we deal with that.
Don't tempt me.
Eh?
Don't tempt me. I've got cameras sitting here.
Oh, you have camera here? Okay, yeah. No, we could have put it on really. I could have put it on camera, but I haven't started recording yet in terms of video. Because
Yeah, yeah,
in a sense, because I just starting out, it's kind of distracting for a lot of people with the camera. Because I know people are
yeah.
afraid to be on the stage. A lot of people are afraid.
Oh, okay.
It's something, and if that camera is like a distracting thing. So I don't reach us. Not for me, you know. I wouldn't mind doing it at all. I don't sound like it's a problem for you, but a lot of people are terrified of the camera, Noel. So I get that.
Yeah,
I get that.
I hear you. I suppose even if you did just a headshot,
Same way, Noel. Trust
some
me.
girls won't wanna
Exactly.
because
You understand
unless
exactly what I'm saying, Noel. Exactly.
unless they look perfect and
Exactly,
makeup.
Noel. Exactly. It got take more talking. Forget the man. He said, "Just come talk." Me not,
That would be laugh tonight.
yeah, exactly, Noel. That's why I deliberately didn't start out that way at all. And that, to me, you know, the voice far more important than the looks, you know.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
words, Noel, far more important than how somebody look. The look is like a
yeah.
distraction to me, and that's how I see it, you know. So that's why I'm focusing on the voice and the words. The power of the words is more important to me, Noel. Because people voice
You
don't.
see,
Yeah, go ahead.
what I realize is that sometimes people want to talk about slavery, which I have no problem with. But my thing is that out of that, give us some ideas.
You want some solution, Noel?
Don't just get me mad. Just don't get me mad and wound up for revolution. And nobody's got an idea of how. What we're gonna do next.
Noel, I'm on the same page with you, bro. Trust me on that, man. I don't want you about the problem no more. I just want your solution.
Yes, exactly.
That's where my mind is on, man. Me hear enough of the problem all of my life. Just tell me some solution. Tell me what we're going to do.
And when you say that to a lot of them that are trying to hype you up, they can't tell you nothing.
Noel, no need for that. I'm not going to listen to them. I have no time for them, Noel. Sorry. No, I don't want to hear not more about the problem. Just give me a solution.
Because I've had enough of
Exactly.
protesting.
Yeah.
I've had enough of wearing
The
new
protest and this
t-shirts.
and that. Exactly, Noel. Me and you on the same page, man. Give me some solution what we can do for myself. And I will tell you something I can do for you or do for yourself. That's where it starts, man.
Because you know what our problem is, what our problem seems to be is that we expect justice out of our unjust system.
Repeat that, Noel.
We expect justice out of an unjust system.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So, like some might happen on the streets. Police are a bit heavy-handed or very heavy-handed on the person. And we think we got them now, we got it on camera. So they must lock him up now. They must lock him up. And they never do.
No, it's not going to happen at all. Because it's an unjust system, as they say. It's set up as an unjust system against us. I agree. So we're wasting the time
So
now.
we're always looking like they're going to treat us fair now because they've got all the evidence they need.
And
now.
that not happen. That not happen.
And then what do? We burn down the place.
I'm going to burn down our own place sometime. We burn down our own community sometime now. It affect our own people sometime. I mean, I say, we not think. We not think now.
So if we had our own thing and we kept ourselves separate.
Yeah. We own justice system, we own this, we own exactly now. Exactly. That we not an excuse to blame nobody else but ourselves. As Bob been saying in the song, none but ourselves can free our mind.
Yeah.
See me I say? None but ourselves can for our mind, Noel, because if we are going to rely upon somebody to fix it for we are joke. We are joking.
But we're not listening to music that uplifts us as much.
No, we're not. We're not. But I'm going to try. With this program, I'm going to try to talk about things. A solution-oriented thing I talk about. I listen to conversation, and I'm going to just lean it always towards solution. Tell me what you can do different, or tell me what can be done.
Yeah, I'm definitely back with that.
Yeah, man. Me want to hear what you have to say, and the growing up and all them things. Just like you couldn't tell a story, but me I say, okay, what can be done differently? What you think can be done to fix this? So, yeah. Anyway, Noel, this was a blast, my brother. This was a wonderful, wonderful conversation. You there talk for over 2.5 hours, almost 2.5 hours, and you come like on nothing.
You got me open now, brother.
Just send me them connection there and them link there, and let me close out the program.
No problem.
God bless you, Noel Brown. God bless the co-host who's no longer here. All of us, Noel, and God bless that great countries where we come from, in the Caribbean, where they come from, Barbados or Jamaica or Trinidad or Guyana. Those are the main ones. But any islands in the Caribbean, it's so much of them. God bless the whole of the islands from the Caribbean, because this is what it's about, to link up with the people from the Caribbean and the diaspora. So God bless all of us, and have a good night, Noel.
And you, bless up, brother.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Noel. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening, wherever you may be across the diaspora, America or the Caribbean, Africa, Europe, or the UK. My name is Lance Prince. I'm the host of Expatriate Memories, where you, your friends, and family can, for the foreseeable future, come and share stories about immigration experiences. Ever since June 22, 1945, when the Agorese of 1,700 plus pioneer migrants traveling on the HMT Empire Windrush from Jamaica and other Caribbean colonies arrived on England shore, our diaspora has been a melting pot of diverse experiences, cultures, and contacts. What we call the Windrush generation extends from that initial contact with the host community at the Tilbury Docks to the passing of the British Nationality Act of 1971. Every individual story has a unique quality which contributes to the distinctive character of our diaspora. It would be beneficial, therefore, if our great-grandparents, parents, children, and grandchildren of the Windrush generation would come together and take this opportunity to share experiences. An appreciation of the immigrant journey would be enriched and foster greater awareness of the value of their contribution to the host community as well as countries beyond. We know so far that the Expatriate Memories, a series of conversations, has already attracted the support of a majority of thousands upon thousands included in diaspora today. But true success depends on whether we are all committed to making that happen. As far as our model is concerned, it is definitely participative and inclusive. Indeed, you can come into the process right now by letting us know at expatriatememories@gmail.com that you are willing to join in conversation about memories from your own immigration journey or migration of someone else may have affected you. Thank you so much for your continuing support, and should you have any suggestion as to our reach or content, please contact us at expatriatememories@gmail.com. Thanks for listening to this conversation. Expatriate Memories is grateful to all those who have listened and enjoyed our interesting discussion, and we want you to know how much we would enjoy hearing from you also. If you would like to join in our conversation, we would appreciate if you would contact us via email at expatriatememories@gmail.com. It's fun, it's easy, and it will be memorable. Thank you, and we hope to hear from you.